Joseph Nashio's story is a 2-decade-old tale of a man who fought the feds and the feds won. Apple's Tim Cook is the latest CEO taking a stand, as heard in a recent interview with ABC News.
What is at stake here is, can the government compel Apple to write software that we believe would make hundreds of millions of customers vulnerable around the world, including the U.S.?
Apple was on the agenda at a recent private meeting attended by Cook, other top Silicon Valley CEOs, and political leaders, including Republican Senator Tom Cotton. Attendees say Cotton and Cook clashed over the controversy. They won't talk publicly about it, but we caught up with Cotton, who's on the Intelligence Committee, to hear why he thinks Apple should do what the government wants.
Apple has taken a dogmatic, absolutist position from the very beginning. Their position is essentially, we don't have to cooperate with the government on this matter or any other matter when it comes to providing evidence. I don't take that position. I recognize fully the value of encryption to Americans. It is essential that Americans have good cybersecurity for their phones and their computers and so forth. So I want phones to have sound data security, but I also want Americans to have sound physical security. And cyber attacks are a real risk, but terrorist attacks like we saw in San Bernardino are a real risk as well. Tim Cook has said in numerous public occasions that he feels strongly that Apple shouldn't have to comply with this court order. I don't understand why. We expect telephone companies to comply with a lawful court order to put a wiretap if a judge orders a wiretap for, say, a drug trafficker. We expect banks to provide bank records if the government produces a lawful court order to inspect bank records that might belong to a money launderer, for instance. I don't think we as a society should treat data and tech companies any differently.
Polls show Americans are divided on this issue. Do you not see that there is concern over whether the government could be proving to be not trustworthy in the information it collects, or could turn into a bully and overreach its authority?
I understand the concerns that Americans have, but also know that Americans are very concerned about the threat of terrorism. And the kind of position that Apple has taken in the San Bernardino case, I believe, is going to ultimately threaten Americans when it comes to terrorist attacks. I think we have to be able to find some middle ground between business and law enforcement so we can protect Americans' physical security in their homes, in their workplace, in their kids' schools, but also protect their data security.
I think one of the most interesting revelations that's come from the Apple case is that the FBI doesn't have the technical expertise to get into an iPhone when billions of dollars have been poured into this agency for its high-tech abilities and to try to develop capacities like that.
I don't want to discuss specific government capabilities of the FBI or any other agency, but I will say that Silicon Valley has amazing engineers, and they've done amazing things for American life over the last 20, 30 years or so. I'm simply disappointed that they've taken this dogmatic and absolutist position.
More court developments ahead. When we continue on Full Measure, service animals are everywhere these days. You won't believe how easy it is for a pet, even a stuffed animal, to get a free ride as an emotional support animal.